Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Happy Friday, showmates! Thank you for waking up with me this morning, and welcome to the, what is it now, the 67th installment of Foxie AM. Wow. It's so early on a holiday. Oh yeah, happy 4th of July, everyone! Oh my goodness, yes. It's 4th of July, so there's gonna be a lot of noises and fireworks today, so if you have any pets, make sure to keep them safe and secure, so they don't get scared and run away on you guys. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm the only one here right now. Is that Shayne? I think Shayne overslept. I've been trying to call him since okay, yep, there he is. He should be popping in momentarily. But let me tell you, I've been trying to call him for a while. But hey, 'tis the morning. Does everyone have their caffeinated beverage of choice? But give me a thumbs up when you're ready, Shayne. I'll bring you up. But welcome, Shayne's Tinks and Balls. Good morning,
Bessie. My God, Bessie. It just took me 10 minutes for StreamYard to, link up.
Oh, wow.
To, get on my phone.
Is the internet
I don't know. It's been, crazy. Where is my... There we go. You know I need my morning coffees.
I can see that you're freshly out of bed. You still have the pillow on the side of your face.
Oh, man. Yeah, I kept hitting snooze, too. I'm like, oh, my God, I got 15 minutes. I had enough time to let my dog out. Here she comes.
I didn't hear from you by, 8:30, so I called you. Or, no, I texted you, and then I called you, and then I texted May, and then I called May, and then
I almost had to use... Let's turn it this way. Does it work? Yeah. So I almost had to, I almost had to use her phone because I forgot to plug mine in. So if this dies, I'm getting back on her phone.
Okay. But 'tis the morning. That's how it works before coffee, right?
Yeah, and it's brewing right now, too. Yeah.
Hi, May. Good morning.
Oh, no.
I don't think she
Say
can
hi.
hear. Hi.
There she can. She can. And there's Bugs, too.
Good morning, Booger.
Buggies! There she is. Oh, there's a good girl.
Loves and kisses for you. We're going to go through and say hello to those who have joined us so far. Happy Friday and happy 4th of July to Eugene, Joy of Fish Keeping, Jody P. The Hoggins are here, Cakers, Vision Tanktics, Dennis Christensen, CR Fish. Why are we always yelling? Let's see. Dennis Christensen, Overly Overstocked Oscars, Auntie June, good morning. Fuzzy KR, good morning. Auntie June says, I need 2 Dr. Peppers before I can talk.
That's Jax. That's Jax all day.
Yeah, Jax is definitely addicted to Dr. Pepper. I remember when you brought him up here for the barbecue, you had to leave the barbecue to go get him his own Dr. Pepper.
Otherwise, he was gonna drink everybody else's stuff. That's not all right.
No, I thought we got a pack of Dr. Pepper, and I guess we didn't. So.
No, he'll go through that like a case of Dr. Pepper. What, 2-3 days?
Yeah.
If we make them,
We give him one a day.
If you make a conserve, it's gone in 3 days.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll hold it back. You get one a day, and he's like, "Can you magically go grab a Dr. Pepper from wherever you're grabbing them from and put it in the fridge for me? Like, nope, you've had your one today. Trying to cut him down on this soda intake, more water, because it's been too hot out here, you know.
Yeah. Well, just overall,
But,
it's just better.
Good morning.
What is it, like 48 grams of sugar per can or something like that? Something crazy.
No,
like
that's Mountain Dew. That's Mountain Dew. That's what we drink. But no, he's yeah.
Good morning, Jenna. Happy Friday. I'm just teasing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I only have my 1 can a day. I try to drink more water or iced tea.
Yeah.
Bugs.
It's been really warm here too, so I've been drinking a lot more water.
Yeah.
Not even buying soda, so we don't have the option to drink it, but we broke down because it's the 4th of July today, so they had a great soda deal. So we bought soda. So we have some in the house right now.
We actually just brought a grill yesterday for our new home, so now we're gonna be like real 4th of July celebrating it. We're gonna grill out today and make some shish kebabs and some elotes. I'm gonna cook some corn on the grill. It's gonna be so good.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
We'll send you some.
So what type of grill did you get? Did you get like a propane or a charcoal?
Charcoal. No, charcoal all day. I hate propane. I've almost set my house on fire because of the propane grill got out of control one time. And Booger actually rescued. She like freaked out. She's like, "There's a fire! There's a fire!" I'm like, "What do you want? You just went outside." And she would not let me not bring her outside.
Yeah.
And I walked in for 2 seconds, and she was like, "No." So the flames were crazy, and then at the time, in Las Vegas, I sent the kid, and I was like, "Go get me." I was like, "Go call 911 real quick." He comes out with a thing of water to pour on a grease fire, and I'm like, "No!" I pulled the grill all the way out, shut the propane tank off, and started throwing dust or dirt on my grill because we're in Vegas. There's nothing but dirt. So but yeah, no, charcoal all the way now.
Yeah, propane can be scary. It can get out of hand, especially if you're cooking something very greasy and it starts dripping and get a big fire going. It can be scary, but not everybody knows not to throw water on a grease fire. They just think fire, hot, water is safe.
Water, no.
But no, but
grease will make it worse. Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to put that out. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Vision says, everyone have a great day. Going to hang out with my Navy pals. Y'all remember to tell your besties thank you. Who am I kidding? Well, excuse you. I think Vision forgets he's the original bestie. He's the one that's in the crew. So I don't know what you're talking about, but I hope you have a great 4th of July, Vision.
Yeah. Enjoy it. No, like burning your thumbs though. Watch those lighters.
Right? Jody says baking soda for grease fire. Yeah, that's the norm. But if you're outside without baking soda, I guess
it's never around. The baking soda is never around when you need it, you know.
Yeah. Well, maybe that should be our 4th of July friendly fire preventer is always keep baking soda on your person if you plan on grilling, just in case.
Always. Shit, grilling or just cooking inside. I feel like sometimes we need it with Jax too when he's cooking on the stove.
Frying up some fries, splattering everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, we can name that the Jody P rule. If I have to make a rule anywhere in my life, whether it's for like the business, if we have to change shipping, if we have to add a clause, it's typically because of someone did that thing, so we name that rule after that person. So I have a whole bunch of rules named after a whole bunch of people. I mean, I keep them like personal. I don't like tell people them, but if it's a rule, if it's an extended rule on there, somebody made that happen.
Yeah.
But yes, the whole reason we're here this morning is to celebrate you and talk with you about celebrate because you're still in remission with your cancer, and I'm so very happy about that. But to talk about your journey with cancer and how your tanks, the aquarium hobby, has helped you through it. So I don't know, like, where you want to start with that, like, where you're comfortable.
Well, we can almost start from not from the beginning, but I mean, I was diagnosed in March of 2023 with stage 4 breast cancer, and it went into my lymph node on this side and spread into various different bones in my body. So it hit my hips, it hit my sacrum, it hit my sternum, my humerus, my ribs. I think that's pretty much it. But I say that's pretty much it. That's a lot, you know. So then
it is a lot. So now, like, what was do you know, like, was this just happening before you knew about it, or was this over?
No. I knew about the lump. Like, I felt it in my chest, but I didn't really worry about it for probably a while. And then, like, I decided 7, 8 years ago, no, maybe 10 years ago now, to go get it checked. So I went to go get it checked. They did like an ultrasound on it, and came back and said it was nothing. So I was like, okay, well, 8 years go by, it's nothing, you know. And I'm the type of person to, like, if it doesn't hurt, if it doesn't make me sick, well, I'm not gonna go figure it out. If a doctor already told me that whatever it is, it could be a cyst, it could be, you know, fatty tissue or whatever. And so I didn't bother with it. And then October of 2022, I think it was, I was having like really bad back pain. I started to have like horrible back pain.
Yeah.
And so October 2022 to March, it was probably March, around like the first week of March, I ended up coughing because I smoke weed. So I was smoking a blunt, and I hit the blunt and I coughed. I felt something pop in my back, and I had my rack, I think it was my 4-foot rack, my 4x2 rack, and I grabbed one of the side bars on it. When I coughed, I was like, ooh, I was like, that kind of popped, that kind of hurt. Well, I still didn't go in and do anything. I worked a week at 7-Eleven. I was a store manager there in Las Vegas, and my employees, I went to go lift up a gallon of milk to change out our coffee machine because it used real milk, and I just had tears coming down my eyes. I didn't even realize I was crying. And my coworker, she was like, Shayne, you need to go to the emergency room. Like, you need to go get that checked out. You've been in pain for a lot of pain for a week. You know, I can barely move. Anytime I turn, it's like crazy. So I was like, yeah. I'll go get one of my 11 pulled muscles checked. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a pulled muscle. It's nothing. So that Friday morning on March 10th, I leave work about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I go to the hospital about 11. So I waited about 3 hours before I decided that, yeah, I'm gonna go, you know. So I get in there, and the doctors, I tell them what, you know, what I'm feeling and all that, and then I kind of bring up I have a swollen lymph node in my armpit too. Like, I didn't know if it was anything connected, and so he was kind of like, well, why would you be telling this? What do you want me to focus on? I was like, well, I'd like you to focus on my back, but I would like you to tell me if it's something to do with what's going on elsewhere, you know. So the doctor was kind of an insert word or whatever you like.
You can say it, it's fine. This
he was a dick. He was a dick, right? So so then I get sent for an x-ray, and the x-ray pulls up these like white spots in my spine. So they want to do a PET scan to see if there's any more of these spots. So they found a couple more, and that's when they found them in my humerus, my ribs, my sternum, and my hip. So then after spending 5 days in the hospital, well, let me backtrack. So they first didn't tell me the next day that I'm going to go down and get a biopsy.
So they admitted you when you went in?
They admitted me. Yeah, I got admitted that day. But they left me in the waiting room for almost like 6, 7 hours in them uncomfortable chairs. I could barely sit. Like, I had to take the relief off my back. Like, I couldn't get comfortable. I'm at this point, I'm crying because my pain is so bad. Like, there's when you break your core, you know, mobility bone in a sense. Like you can't move, you can't do nothing. So when they get me admitted, then they run all these tests. I do blood work every 4 hours. They're waking me up, and I can't really get no sleep. And so then I go down for my biopsy, and while I'm waiting for that to come back, an oncologist doctor comes in. Well, I instantly knew right then and there. And let me tell you, before I even got diagnosed, I had a thought that I knew that I already had cancer. But like I said, because it wasn't hurting and I wasn't getting sick and I wasn't, I didn't, nothing was changing. But when the oncologist came in and I lifted up my shirt and I showed him my chest, he said, "You have stage 4 breast cancer." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah." And so at that point, I actually hadn't even been talking to my mom for a while because of my ex. So my ex kind of put all my friends, all my family. I wasn't like, I never felt comfortable to be able to talk to them because she would give me so much shit. So when I found out I had cancer, I immediately said I need to get a hold of my mom. So that brought the relationship back with my mom with me. And I'm gonna need tissues. And so then they do the biopsy and then they come back and stating that I have cancer. So the time that I was in the hospital, my mom actually flew out for 2 weeks. She stopped everything she was doing. She got on a plane. She came out. She spent the time with me. Then I get released from the hospital, but I don't just get released from the hospital like normal. I'm released because now I have a back doctor who's now making me wear a back brace. I couldn't get up to go to the bathroom without putting my back brace on. So now I have a T8 fracture, compressed fracture, and cancer.
So the cough broke your back, or like did the cancer do something that caused the cough to break? What happened? Like, how did your back?
Yeah, so I have cancerous lesions throughout my spine. I have about 12. So, yeah, so basically that T8, there was so much cancer in that spot that a cough, a sneeze, a fall, it was gonna break it. Like I wish my mom's got that picture. I wish I had it right now because I could show you guys like the crazy amount. Like when I read my reports and I see like T2, T8, T3, in my cervical spine and down in my thoracic, like it's everywhere. So basically, even though still to this day, like there's so many spots, like I can sneeze, I can cough, riding roller coasters,
You shouldn't be, but you do.
But look, I can do it in every day. I'm not gonna stop living my life and having fun because literally I don't have tomorrow. Like all I got's today.
Yeah.
So
like we say in the Hot Mess Express, today is a gift, a present. Tomorrow is not.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't want you to snap yourself in half is my fear.
But if I do, though, I have a really pretty nurse to take care of me.
This is true.
You know what I mean? I never have to wipe my butt again. But lift my legs straight up in the air, babes.
Oh, that's funny. Good morning,
Okay.
Alishan. Scuba Stevo, welcome in. Alishan said, lipomas are fairly common, so they probably thought it was that, unfortunately, at first.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, there's really, but those 5 days in the hospital changed my life. You realize who's there for you, who's not.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, that was pretty much the journey that started me to get back home, get where I'm supposed to be, and
so So you're diagnosed, you're in the hospital for those 5 days with a stage 4 cancer that has metastasized through your system and a broken back.
Yep.
So what's the first? Obviously, they have to brace your back somehow. So how do they treat your back with all those lesions on your spine?
Oh well, they just gave me like this back brace.
Mm-hmm.
It went over kind of like a backpack, and then I strapped it, and then it's got like these two knobs that I would turn on my hips.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so uncomfortable because like at that time I was so small that like the two little knobs on my hips were it hurt more to wear the damn brace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just went out and got ice packs and laid on ice packs. I mean, I couldn't really get up and do much. I could barely walk. When I got out of the hospital, I could barely walk from my bed at the time to the bathroom, which was probably, I would say, 8 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily I can like hold my bed and like hold the racks to get there in the wall. But yeah. I mean, they didn't really do much. I would go and see my spine doctor, and he would I would get x-rayed like every month. But at one point he said we might have to do like a cement fill to kind of give me some more height because I lost 1.5 inches whenever my back broke.
Mm.
And then
it's weird how when your spine starts collapsing, you start shrinking, right?
Yep, makes sense for them old people. Can you hear my mower?
I can't make it out, no. But StreamYard has echo cancellation, so we shouldn't hear anything unless it's a grandbaby shrieking in the background.
My mow guy's here, Dave. He's awesome. He's cutting us up for the forest, so we don't have to stand in tall grass in the backyard.
Well, that's good. Also, you always want to keep your grass trimmed too, so it also like keeps the bugs away. Good morning, Brandon. Thank you for joining us. And Auntie June says your attitude is to be commended. Good for you, Shayne.
Well, now that's where the weed comes in.
Well, I'm gonna say, okay, so you spent 5 days in the hospital. They give you the brace. You have a setup to, like, it's for your back to heal, seeing the back doctor. But how does it go forward with the oncologist? Like, what is the next step once you're...
Okay, well, the next step wasn't to, well, the next step obviously was to find my oncologist, Dr. Mehdi in Las Vegas. But I couldn't do that first without quitting my job. So now I went from being a 40-hour a week, well, 50 because I was the boss, 60 or however many hours I wanted to be there. Now I went from being the store manager of 7-Eleven to I got to go in and tell my boss of 10 years that he needs to fire me so I can collect unemployment and get insurance. And he said, okay. And so that day he fired me. My ex went down to the welfare office and got me on emergency Medicare, but it wouldn't kick in until April 1st. This was March 23rd that we did all this because I worked, I think, even for another week, even with my back brace after coming out of the hospital. I don't know anything else, you know. I just I gotta pay rent somehow.
You remind me so much of Dee Dee. It's scary. I don't care if my back's broke. I'm still working. Damn it.
I'm still working. Yeah, I gotta pay these bills. So so I went and talked to my owner Neil, and he said, "No, we got you." And so my insurance kicked in April 1st, 2023, and I think I had my first oncologist appointment April 6th. And I went in and talked to Dr. Mehdi, and he looked at me and he said, "Okay, we gotta get a hold of this thing." So I started a serious round of chemo, and it was basically every 2 weeks I had to come in and get like 2 chemos, like 2 types. I can't remember what they're called because their names are weird, and then so every 2 weeks, 4 times I would have to come in and do that, and then I was gonna switch to Taxol, which was every week for 12 weeks. So I go in, and the first chemo, let me tell you, it wasn't bad, but I never got sick. I never threw up when I had chemo. I just lost my hair, and the first chemo ever, I remember laying in the bed, my chest hurt so bad, like it was the tumor was seeping out of my chest. Like it's weird. Like I don't even really think I could describe it on a morning show, but because everyone's probably eating breakfast, but it hurt. When I tell you, like I felt like I got shot in the chest. I felt like I got shot in the chest. So
and it was just like a seeping pain, or did it actually feel like it was targeting that lump in your chest?
It felt like it was targeting it, like it was going straight there.
Like,
from that first, from the first time that I had it. Did it what?
Like was it a radiating pain, or was straight like felt like it was pulling that apart?
Pulling it apart, like it was constant. And so I mean, at that point, I had painkillers and stuff, so I would just take it to be able to like just go to sleep. I couldn't turn. I'm a side sleeper, so and I couldn't sleep on my side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
back sleeping flat.
Yeah, I like to curl, and I can't curl because it hurt even worse. So I had to lay on my back and with ice packs. Pretty much, I slept on ice packs all day or all night.
I think a lot of us sleep in the fetal positions.
It's safer.
But Alice Shan asks, I worked in cancer drug biologics, for over 20 years. Does Shayne know the particular chemo he was given at first?
Oh. No, it started with a C. That's all I know. It's a long word. Started with a C. But I have papers, but I'm not going to try to dig those out yet. I don't think.
Okay, so you had your first radiation treatment. You felt the burning in your chest. You said you had to get 2 types at one time when you went in for treatment.
Yeah, I remember. Like I would get. So the first time I had chemo, I didn't have my port yet. Mm-hmm. So they had to put it in through my intravenously, so through an IV, but they have to like make sure to like cover up my skin because it couldn't touch my skin because the type of chemo it would eat away. It would be like in a folder, like in this one right here.
Look at your nurse doing your paperwork for you. That's a
No, I saved all this stuff. Doxorubin every 2 weeks for treatment, and then it's pegfilgrastim, and that was every 2 weeks. That might have been my shot that I had to come back to raise my white blood count. Yeah, my white blood cells. So I have to come back after I got my chemo and get a shot to help to raise those. And there's the Taxol, and then Doxorubin. Cytoxan, Cytoxan. Yeah, so between the cytoxan or the cyclophosphamide, I don't even know what that is.
You're doing
the doxorubicin. Between I had those 2 every 2 weeks for 4 treatments. So that one of them was like red. So I could be like a little, not even red. It would be like in a syringe, and they would inject me. And for like 48 hours, my blood or my urine would be red. So like I would think that there's a problem. He said, yeah. So I'm like, my doctor would told me, he's like, you're not bleeding, so it's just the medicine coming out. But that stuff was some serious stuff. And yeah. And not to mention like so in Las Vegas, COVID was over, so we could have people like chilling with us. But in Las Vegas, I didn't have anyone come and sit with me. So
So how many rounds total did you have to get of the chemos?
4 and 12, 16.
16 total rounds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. With 2 weeks, Monday through Friday, every day radiation. I had targeted radiation on my T-spine to shrink or to heal the lesions on my back. And when you go in to do radiation, they have to give you these 3 little tattoos. So one straight in the middle, like on your chest, and then on each side of your ribs. I have so many tattoos that they couldn't even mark me. So they had to they had to give me this real sticky sticker with an X on it. Like I have the dot on my chest, but because I don't have any tattoos right there, but on my sides, they're like, we can never find your dots. Well, you should have made them bigger.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
But
good morning, Scuddy. Welcome in.
hey,
Happy
Nona.
Friday. And Christopher Junkin, good morning. Happy Friday to you.
Hey, Chris.
Okay, so somehow you went from Las Vegas to Illinois, and so how? Like you were still under still going through chemo and stuff. So I know you moved here within the midst of that, but how far into it were you already?
I actually, my mom, I called her. It was probably, my relationship was super toxic. So she began fighting with me and like putting her hands on me. And so she actually ended up going to jail that Monday before I left because she pushed me off the bed because I needed 2 seconds to chill while I was packing up my shit to leave. So she goes to jail. My mom flies out. She rents a high-rise van. And then we take off and leave. That wore me out. So we wait a couple more days, and we actually left the morning of 2 years ago, today, Las Vegas. Like we left to make our way back to Illinois. So that's kind of cool. But yeah. So man, I don't even know. That's crazy. I just realized that. Yeah. But what was we talking about?
Moving from Vegas to Illinois and managing the treatment on the move.
Yeah, so, well, the treatment, basically, I just set my doctors up and I let them know because I had my last one that Thursday before. And so I just let them know that, hey, I'm moving. And so they said, okay, just let your doctors know whenever you find one, which I had already found one. I got Dr. K. Roos here in Illinois. He is like one of the best cancer doctors that there is. He took care of my grandma when she had pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
And he did phenomenal. So I waited that extra like month, I think, to actually see him. But once I got in there, he got me right back on my tax call. He read everything from the doctors. Like I didn't even have to explain nothing to him. Like normal doctors are like, okay, so why are you here? What am I seeing you for? He brought me in the room and he told me, you know what I mean? So you have this, this, this. You've already done this, this, and this. Like he already knew, and I said yes. So do I have? What do I need to prepare myself for? He said, nothing, just live your life. He said, I'll tell you when it's time to worry, and it's not time to worry yet. He goes, we're going to get you on. We're going to finish out your Taxol, and we're going to do that every week, and then we'll get you in for another PET scan and see if anything's growing. And then he pretty much just like pays attention to my tumor markers, and they at one time were up over 500, and they're supposed to be down in like lower than 30. Yeah. So he said, when they don't go up, we don't worry. So, as long as you're not having any pain or any other symptoms, then, we'll just continue on your Taxol, and then we'll start transitioning you into the pill form of chemo. So that's pretty much what I'm on now. I take this, I don't even know. Let me see if I can show you.
So did you already have, did you find that doctor before you even left Las Vegas, or did you find that doctor once you were already in Illinois?
Nope, I called them before I left, and they said, okay, once you get here, just set up your insurance. And I already made the appointment, but I just needed to make sure that was all ready to go before my appointment time. So, I basically had all of it set up, like I was ready to go. So all they had to do was call the office in Las Vegas to get kind of like that referral or that permission to treat.
Yeah.
So once they did that, then immediately after I got here, I don't know if it was the weekend. I got in on the 6th. I think it was a Friday when we finally got in. But
you and all your fish tanks and your shrimp and your axolotls that you had to ship to Las Vegas for you.
And my dog. and my geckos.
Your mom.
And my mom. My mom, she's amazing. She was a truck driver forever, so she knew how to drive that truck. We were coming through New Mexico, and New Mexico's roads are shit. So we're on the phone the whole way there. I'm in my little Nissan Sentra, loaded up with all like the baby tanks and all the air pumps running in the tubs and all that stuff. But you know, she's on the phone. She's like, "I'm sorry, Shayne. If any of these tanks are broken, it's New Mexico's fault." I said, "It's okay, Mom. Let's just get home. Tanks replaceable, you know." So we get there, not a single crack on any tank. So I got to give that to my mom. I got to give that to my homegirl T and my brother Lewis, because those two packed up the truck for me because I couldn't lift it. And when you break down that many tanks in one day, and my brother tried to catch shrimp. I love him, but he was like, I don't have the patience. I can't do this. He goes, "You want me to get every single shrimp out of here?" So I basically did all that. So my body was dead. I think that's why we had to wait a couple days to leave. But Booger was riding. I drugged her up because there's no way her anxiety on road trips, but she did great. But like the axolotls, like that's one thing that kept me going in Las Vegas is, you know, once I got out of the hospital, because, you know, I was talking to you before. That's kind of like when, like, I don't know, we would talk every day. So you send me out. At that time it was Dee Dee and Bean, and before we knew that they were boys.
Yep.
And
you don't know
they were there. No, right. So they got there, and I'm telling you what, those two who are now Dale and Brennan from Step Brothers, if anyone don't know, but those two right there, did we just become best friends? But they got me out of my bed to, like, just getting me up and walking just to the front of the bed. I mean, it wasn't very far, like 4 feet, but to be able to have to feed them and make sure that they're doing okay and their little cute little faces, I would get down on the floor because they were on the bottom of the rack where it was kind of the coolest in Las Vegas. And without those cute little faces and those frilly frills, like, perking up every morning, I don't know how I would have done it, you know. His Trex, my leopard gecko at the time, he don't give no shits about nothing. He just wants food, you know. He is, and he bites. Like, he's my pit bull, you know. Like, I went to go catch him to bring him to put him in the tub for the drive, and he latched onto my hand right here and drew blood. I was like, "You little shit." Maybe
he's not the pet for you.
No, I love that one. He's the gecko I got from BHB, Brian Barschek. So if anybody knows him, the reptile guy, he passed away from pancreatic cancer too. But it was kind of him too that made me want to go get checked out, because right around the time that he stated that on his videos was the time that I actually got diagnosed as well. So but then
Welcome in.
Now I'm home.
Good morning. Alice Shan says, if possible, seek out an NIH Comprehensive Cancer Center. You may already be at one in Illinois. And an NIH Comprehensive Cancer Center.
What is that? An NIH?
Yes. If Alice Shan's saying it, it must be something good.
Okay, let me write that down. Do you see that, babe? The NIH Comprehensive. I think it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife's looking it up right now.
It's always good to check into that and make sure, because you are getting excellent care. But if you can find it, you even get even better care. That would be, you know. Yeah. You can always up it.
Well, I'll show you guys what I'm taking right now. So so it comes in these packs, my chemo pills, right?
Oh, well, maybe we should backtrack. Okay, so you go from your chemo treatments, and then they put you on the medicine, correct? And is that the Ator something you were talking about? The Ator, I can't remember.
Taxol?
Yeah, is that one?
No, this is the pill form.
Okay.
So I take that, I guess my wife said my cancer center is
Okay.
that.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went from getting chemo treatment in your port to taking just the medicine. So what made them transition from actually getting actual chemo to putting you on a tablet form of it?
My numbers were staying low, and there wasn't any new growth. Like as far as like the cancer wasn't moving, it wasn't spreading. So this is pretty much just to keep it at bay, and just like hold it like right where it's at. So as long as I'm taking this, I went from taking a 125 milligram pill down to 100, because the 125 was making my white count stay low, and this one is keeping it right about 3. Like my doctor says, you know, he's not really worried about the levels. It's like when my red count, I don't know, there's something he watches, but whatever it is, like it doesn't, I don't get sick. I don't ever, like, I don't get the flu. I rarely like don't feel good. And if I don't feel good, it's probably because I ate something bad or I ate too much, because that's all I do is eat.
Yeah,
but
snacks on snacks.
on snacks on snacks on snacks. Yeah, my doctor, he actually told me, because I'm up to one.
When I go and hang out with Shayne, he'll go to open his car door to get out, and just all these open bags of like goodies fall out of the car.
And snacks on snacks. She's at my door. That's it. Yeah, she's not joking. And there's probably more in the trunk. And then I got some in the center console. Like
I have go in the store to buy more
snacks. Yeah, yeah. Every time I leave my house, I'm like, I need car snacks. And like, 'cause you never know where you're gonna get stuck. And I ain't trying to be hungry, so.
I know, because you don't get snacks up to here, so you need to like fill up.
yeah. No. So, yeah, nope.
Dee Dee says also Dr. Ted is a therapist in cancer patients. Reach out to him as well.
Okay.
If you'd like to speak to someone. Let's see. Also, good morning. Oh yeah, Taxol. That's what I was speaking of.
Taxol, yeah.
Happy Friday to you. Alishan says National Institute of Health, University of Chicago, and Northwestern University are the 2 in Illinois. The NIH. And good morning, Hagen Hills. Cakers says sorry for not chatting much. I'm pretty sure I said good morning to you already, but still not caffeinated enough.
I know, I feel that.
So let me see if I'm missing anything in chat. Yes, we have May in chat. She says she loves seeing her handsome husband up here on screen.
I know, she's right here.
Okay, so okay, so you're living in Illinois now. At this point, you have finished your chemotherapy. You're put on the pill form, and so where does it go from there?
Hi, just that. Well, I'm doing one last Zolmeta treatment, which is an infusion through my port on Monday. That all that does is pretty much strengthens my bones. Hey, be quiet. And don't let her bark. And then yeah, she's barking at the long guy. Did you tell him? Okay. What was I saying? So yeah, so I got one last Zolmeta treatment on Monday, and then he's gonna pull me off those, and we're gonna do them every 3 months. So that was pretty much just to keep my bones healthy. But that way, if we do it every 3 months, then right before I go get my next Zolmeta treatment in 3 months, I'll be able to go in and have my like every tooth pulled instead of doing them all at the same time, because cancer has messed my teeth up like royally. Like the chemo, it made them so brittle to where like a lot of them just like chip away and fall out. But I was scheduled to have like all my teeth pulled and then get dentures. But then with I read somewhere and someone said to be careful with that. Another cancer patient said be careful with that because you can easily get an infection and it's right there in your bloodstream. So you don't want to do too much too soon. And so after talking to my doctor and the dentist, they said, yeah, it's probably better to do it this way. So when he pulls me on my treatments every 3 months, then right before that next treatment, I'll go have a tooth pulled. and then I'll go have another two, or a couple. You know what I mean? So it's like a couple every time instead of all at once. So I feel like, you know, I've got plenty of time left. You know, and if I don't, then, you know, oh well. I just want to spend every day with my friends and family and the people that make me smile, and like all the bullshit and the haters and the negativity can just go away. You can find your own bubble.
There's no room for dark clouds, only sunshine and happiness from now.
And rainbows, as my wife would say.
Always the rainbows. Good morning, it's Fishy. Good morning, Toonie Loon. Christopher Duncan asks, was the move really hard with the fish? Like, did the move, like, you had those fish tanks make the move, like, more difficult?
I mean, no, to be honest with you, everything that I moved, I basically just got 5-gallon buckets from, he's waving, he's there. But I went and got 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot or Lowe's or Walmart, wherever I can find them, wherever I was at the time. And I got lids, so I drilled a hole in the top of the lid. I ran an airline through there and just put like a little sponge filter inside. And then I had a lot of those USB pumps where I could just connect them to my car. So I went and got one USB splitter where I could plug that into my car, and then I could put 4 airlines into one. So it basically, I'd be able to run 4 of them. Yeah. Everybody made it, and I think the most stressful part of that was knowing that I was the only one that knew how to break down my tanks the correct way. Yeah. And with a broken back, it was like, you know, it was real. It was more the physical than the mental. I mean, I watched a bunch of videos on how to like pack up and move stuff, but really, once you're doing it, like you just gotta go. I knew that, like, you know, the shrimps, you know, I can make more shrimps if something happens to them, but the ones I didn't want to lose were my axolotls. Like, basically, if anything would have happened, it would have been all right, you know, like, you know, but to be honest, I didn't lose any fish, no animals coming here. It was the move from my mom's house 10 minutes away.
That's what I'm typing right now.
Yeah, the move 10 minutes away to here when my whole Bloody Mary went up. Like, it just crashed out. So,
that'll happen sometimes with the move. They just, you know.
Yeah, so I you know, it's crazy that they all made it from Vegas, you know, damn near a 30-hour drive,
but they couldn't make it 10 minutes. I know the funny.
But they couldn't make it 10 minutes. No. I don't know what happened. If, like, I don't even know.
Okay,
I'm still flabbered about that.
As of today, where are we in your cancer treatment / progression?
We are still in remission. So no new growth. Dr. K said I can go get a PET scan anytime. Like, I'm due for another one, but I don't feel like there's any new pain or anything where I should be worried about it. As long as my markers stay low, and I got no lymph nodes that are swollen, because I do check it all the time. Like, if I get like a little toothache, my lymph node in my neck here, I could feel it. It's like a little pea. Yeah. So like I feel my armpit ones, and the ones that I know that would be swollen if, say, something was going wrong in my body, but
so you're in remission and you know all the places to check. Just
right. So yeah, I'm good taking my pill every day. I take my chemo pill every day for 3 weeks, and I have 1 week off. So now, as long as I remember to take that at the 8 o'clock hour, we're good. But yeah.
Jody says, my mom had terrible teeth before her cancer treatments. She has to get Prolia shots, probably misspelled, and can't get any teeth pulled within 3 months of the shot for risk of infection.
Right. Yeah. See, and that's what the crazy part is like, there's so many stipulations. Thanks, bud. There's so many stipulations on like cancer pills in general, you know.
Good morning, Kenny. Welcome in. Whip asks, "Where in Illinois are we neighbors now?"
We are neighbors, Whip. I'm actually in central Illinois, so and what they call Decatur. Just kidding. Decatur. we're dead center.
Yeah, Decatur, where all the tornadoes come through at one time.
Oh my God, that's
Every
another
12
story.
hours,
That's
like you're texting me. The sirens are going off. I'm in my basement again.
I'm down here. I'm down there before the basement or before the sirens go off. I hate. Ugh.
They're scary. They're scary. Like when I lived in PA, like we would get warnings sometimes, but we never had any like crazy ones come through. But like in my neck of the woods, but here we get alerts all the time, and we don't have a basement, and I get scared.
Oh man, I'll see the clouds change, and like that one time, I don't know, there was the one storm we had like 3, like real fast, and we thought it was gone. They called the warning off, and I was like, all right, I think it's safe to go back upstairs. So Mal will listen to me. She's like, okay, you sure you want to go upstairs? I'm like, yeah. So I come upstairs, and I instantly always go outside to look at the clouds. And I opened the door. I went outside, and I was like, I had this feeling in my stomach, and I was like, no, we got to go back downstairs. Before I even shut the door, the sirens were going off. I freaking slammed it. I'm like, give me the cat.
As I'm carrying our cat up in the cat carrier, and I have all this shit in my hands, I have to turn around and go right back down the damn stairs.
Right. But we have Diego too, so I have my little Diego's here, my mom's little Shih Tzu, which is my dog anyway. But like, so I have Booger and I have Diego's, and I'm all, Diego's, come here, Diego's, come here. And he's like, no. And so I'm trying to grab him. And we're hauling ass back downstairs. And we have 4 windows in the basement, so we can see like the wind blowing, and like, you know, man, no, I don't do tornadoes. No.
It keeps your heart going though.
I'll tell you, I will deal, like, cancer is easy compared to tornadoes. I'll tell you that much.
Only time I've seen him cry is over the damn tornadoes.
They are scary.
I get
like my anxiety shoots up too, especially like because you feel the pressure change in the air if there's one. Like with the workload dropping, and I've watched it frickin' circle above the house, and I've watched that wall cloud go from the back of the house to the front of the house, and I have had a panic attack about that before. So
yeah, you sent me that video. You sent me one of those.
Yeah.
Where the tornado was. Yeah, no, can't do that.
One that was so scary. The air was so heavy. Even all the fish and all the tanks all went real low to the substrate. Like, hold on, buddy, something's coming.
Yeah, you know, I was just gonna say that because like the cat don't want nothing to do with Booger. Socks is like, no, leave me alone. But when they're in the basement, they literally will sit on top of each other. Like, are you okay, sis? Are you okay, sis? You know, like it's the cutest thing, but you never want
thunder buddies. That's so
cute. Yeah. They're and then like my dog will try to chill me out, so like she knows where I'm having problems, so she'll come up and she'll just like, look at me, dad, and I'm like, no, get away, sit down, there's a tornado.
So that's definitely something we bond on, is our fear of tornado.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So we've talked about what you've been going through and where you currently are with your cancer journey. And we've touched on it a little bit about how your fish keeping, how the hobby has helped you deal with your cancer, as far as like Dale and Brennan helping getting you out of the bed. But in what other ways did it benefit you? How else did it help you get through the hardest of the treatment?
With my fish? And this aquascape, well, I mean, it keeps me mind motivated, you know, like I'm still, especially now, like I'm still trying to get the basement tanks in order and set up how I want, because this is the first like house I've had to where I've had like full run to do whatever I want. Like Mal don't care what happens with the tanks or how they are. She just wants me. Yeah, she just wants me to feed them. Like, that's her main thing every day. Did you feed the fish? And I'm all, yes. You know, so like right now, you know, we had all the babies in the kitchen, so that way hooked up with the brine shrimp, so that way I knew to feed them 4 times a day in case if I couldn't get downstairs 4 times, you know, because some days are harder than others.
Yeah.
But right now we're moving them downstairs. So I got all the tanks emptied out, and they're about to be filled up today. Put their sponges back in there, and then put the baby axolotls back in there. Not to mention, I just pulled like 5 eggs again from Penelope. She's still laying. You got me triggered.
That's crazy that she's laying eggs in July.
You know what? I swear she's a Mexican axolotl, but
that's the only place they come from. So she
that's
has
what
to be.
I'm saying. She has to be. Yeah, no. Well, they're from Mexico.
That's the only lake in Mexico they come from. So.
Jackson's all. That sounded a little racist. I'm like, boy, they're from Mexico.
How cold do you have her sitting at right now? Is she a tiny bit warmer than, or a tiny bit warmer than she normally would be?
No, it's like 68 down in the basement, so it's pretty normal.
I was trying to figure out what the trigger may be, because typically, I mean,
she's got 2 boys down there. That's my throuble. The one like
Duke's ancestry has always followed the path because that's where they came from. Duke is my baby Duke is their dad.
Yeah.
So they've always bred from like November to March. Now that's been like on point for years, but this year Duke didn't even spawn. All the axolotl eggs I hatched were from someone that surrendered them twice.
Yeah, I gave you some.
2 different sets. No, those ones I hatched out. Those guys have been long gone.
Yeah.
People lived those a long time, but I'm saying the ones that I currently have were only the glows. Duke didn't lay any of them. The 2 were surrendered, and then I originally had the non-glows from you. I think we got 11 of those guys to hatch.
Yeah.
That was a struggle, but yeah.
After it got lost in the mail. Yeah, they took forever to get there.
Yeah, that was crazy. But I don't, because they were doing good. There was no predation, but we only had not that 11 hatched, but that's 11 that thrived. I will put it, because they will hatch out, but it's up to them whether they choose to eat, and not everyone chose to eat. So.
Right. Yeah, I think I pulled 12 eggs from Penelope, and like some of them hatched out, but they hatched out to where they didn't look like normal axolotls, so they didn't last very long. So I think I have 5 or 6.
I wonder if it's like a stress, maybe like a stress purge type deal, because typically they have their seasons, but even Duke was out of season this year. He didn't spawn at all. Right now, he doesn't have a female currently, so I don't know if he'd want to. But everybody's axolotls seem to be out of sync, like the past year and a half, as far as when it comes to spawning. And I wonder what that's about. I wonder what's making that happen. Very curious about that, so it's not only your guys going off. We have one person that calls us like every 6 weeks, and like, my axolotl spawned again. No, that was her like during the season. That's her. I feel like I'm down there probably every 3 days pulling 50 eggs. You know what I mean? Like, but I've got one rack that's just made for. I'm setting it up. That's just for axolotl babies. Yeah.
And
now,
then,
are you hatching all the eggs that she produces, or are you selectively?
No, I just pull out like 50 eggs, 25 to 50, depending on how many I have left or how many like tank space I have. But like, or if I see twins, I'll pull those just to try to hatch those. But like before I moved the axolotl tank for my mom here, one of the axolotl eggs actually hatched. It was in the tank with the big guys, like with all my adults. So we grabbed that one out, and I put it in a little tub. And then before we even got home, I was gonna keep that one and just like put it in a separate container. But then before we got home, 2 more popped out of their eggs. So I was like, well, damn, I don't know which one it is. I guess you guys are all just gonna live together now. But I was like, I've never seen one actually hatch out without getting eaten in egg form. So
Well, they miss one every now and again, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, that's for sure. Yeah.
Good morning, Keith, KJE Aquatics. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for joining us. Happy
Hey,
4th
Keith.
of July as well to everyone. Keep forgetting to say that. So it has really helped you, just like the hobby has helped you just better cope and make you move more and keep you going through.
Yeah, and it also doesn't make me feel like I'm not doing anything, because I can't work. I can't, like, when I do the dishes, it takes me probably to do like a sink full of dishes to help Mal out. It'll probably take me 2 hours, just because I can only, we don't have that many dishes, but like to stand up there, I could probably wash maybe 4 or 5 dishes before my back starts to get, when I stand up, it gets compressed.
Yeah.
So like I'll feel the pain real quick, and I can't, like, I either have to lean or I just have to go take a break. You know what I mean? So
are you supposed to still be wearing some sort of back brace and you're not?
I don't have a back doctor here. So, but no, I mean, I can
Hey,
twist
hey,
when I she's yelling at you, maybe, yeah. But yeah, like when I broke my back, I was on a no lift, no bend, no twist order, and now I can bend all the way down, I can twist, you know. So I have mobility now to where I won't overdo it, but
he's not allowed to overdo it.
See, I'm not allowed to overdo it.
Well,
Not
what's
you
your
tell me to
lifting,
sit.
like what's your lifting maximum? Like, what are you not supposed to? I'm assuming it's very easy to re-break that spot since it's not like supported by any kind of bracing.
Probably. I mean, I moved out, like, we moved Pennywise's little 3-gallon tank out to the living room last night, but I had to have her, like, help me grab it just because I can't really lift things up over my head. That's where it gets kind of, but I think I'm maybe like at a 20 to 50 pound. I don't know. I mean, I lift 30-pound dog food, and that's fine in cases of water.
Well, did the doctor say don't lift over this amount, or?
Well, yeah, at the beginning of it, but I haven't been told anything since.
Yeah, but that might be something good to check up on, just so you know what your limit is, so you don't push yourself past that. Because I know that's one thing you like to do is push yourself past some limits.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, I'm gonna try it. No, well, I mean, we like we got the lawn guy that cuts our lawn right now, but we actually have a mower. But we went out to go mow the lawn one day. I was like, nope, ain't gonna do this. We'll just pay him. It's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some things that I just won't do. I'll pay, but I feel like that's with my age. You know, like I can do that. You know, like I'll be 43 in October, so. I can get some young kid to cut my grass. That's fine. He needs to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, how the turntables.
Right.
But we have already been chatting for over an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and play the member video now, so we all can get up, take a stretch, refresh our coffees. So at the making of the member video, we're at 112 members to the channel. Thank you to each and every single one of you. Greatly appreciate all of you. Without further ado, Greg, I hope you have your icy hot on, because here we go.
Gods runs through jungle shadows, gods in sky casting down their arrows. Axolotl swims in the moonlit waters, escape the fate avoiding sun's fiery quarters. Axolotl, changing shape, avoiding throttle. Axolotl, in the waves you find your temple. Under stars that whisper old tales, in the streams where life prevails, Axolotl turns to sacred salamander, hiding from the gods' cruel gander. Axolotl, changing shape, find your temple. Misted flow of ancient rivers. In your wake, the I used to wear fucking
Hi, Jax.
She said, "Hi, Jack." There he is.
112 members. To the
Wait,
channel.
stand up.
Thank you so very much for all of your support. I greatly appreciate every single.
So if anybody doesn't know how tall this motherfucker is,
that's his son.
I'm at
Cheers.
He's
about as tall as Whip. Oh, he just turned 15 on the 22nd.
Yeah, he needs more coffee. You need to slow down that shrinking.
She said you need more coffee. Oh, you can hear.
You need to shrink, stop that growing.
Oh my! I need help from the top shelf.
That's the goal of the coffee.
So we talked about your cancer, your journey through that, and how you're in remission now. Hi, Karen. Good morning. We've talked about your trip to from Vegas to Illinois. We've talked about a little bit about how your fish keeping helped you through your cancer at the hardest of times. But we also heard you mention how you had an ex in Las Vegas, but you now have a wife in Illinois. We didn't hear the process of any of that. Because I personally, knowing some insider information, I think she was a big part of your recovery. So
yeah, definitely. So let's say I get back here now. Me and Mal have known each other for a very long time. She came in. I worked at McDonald's. She didn't want to get a job. Her dad made her get a job, so she came to McDonald's. And the manager at the time, Cressy, he was like, "Yeah, come back." So she comes back. She's got a uniform. She walks in this visor and these pleated McDonald's pants, back in the day.
20 years ago.
And I'm like, who's this girl, right? But she was way too young for me at the time, because okay, I'm what, like 21, and she's 17, so it's kind of like not right. Yeah. So I have to wait because I have like this 4-year age gap. So the girls I date either have to be 4 years older or 4 years younger. I won't do anything more than that. It's weird for me. So so I waited. We ended up talking, became good friends, and then I went back to Las Vegas. Well, we stayed in contact, and she was graduating, which means she was legal. So she said,
better maybe.
Whatever. She was of age. Okay, we'll go that route. But so she was like, "Are you going to come back and watch me graduate?" And I'm like, "Of course I can." And she was like, "Are you really going to come back from Vegas just to see?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I got a plane and flew back and went to her graduation ceremony. And then we started dating over the summer because I didn't go right back. So, but then I had to, I don't know, something happened and I ended up flying out to visit. And then I just didn't get back on the plane. My mom was really pissed about that, by the way, because she bought that ticket to return. And it was the morning of it. I was like, "Mom, I'm not going to the airport." And she's like, "What?" So then I stay out there, and a couple of years go by, we lost contact. And then a couple of years go by and I fly home again. And so I hit her up and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing? You want to go hang out?" She's like, "Yeah." So we end up going to the zoo. And we would always go to the zoo or go get food because that's my second favorite thing to do. And then that year, it was right before I got married, or not married, because I didn't marry her right away, but went back. She was supposed to go to a show with me, a concert, but she didn't want to, so I went by myself. So I told her, like, if she would have went to that show with me, we would have been married for 10 years already, right? But so I leave, all this stuff happens in Vegas. I get back here. We leave July 4th, 2 years ago. We come back to Illinois, and I'm getting settled. And then I slowly am like, I go to my friend's house, who I've known for 20, 25 years, and I'm talking to her, and they know Mal. And I'm like, man, I just want to hit her up. I feel like she needs to be around me. Like I miss her. I can't stop thinking about her. Like I've always thought about her, but she's doing her own thing. And the last time I was here, Jax was 3. But Jax was already on my hip at 3. So like, so, and we went to the zoo that time, and his little butt rode the train. And so I'm here. I think we got in like July 6th, and I hit her up 23 days later because my friend Amber was like, "No, just send her a text. Y'all gonna be married. I know y'all are gonna end up together." And I'm like, "No, she ain't gonna marry me. She should have done that like years ago, whatever." And I said, "I ain't never getting married. I'm never getting married again. I can be with her forever. You know, we can do this. We've been friends forever. We can live together, whatever." Yeah. And so I hit her up and I said, "Hey, lady, how are you and the kid?" And the first thing she said is, "Are you still married?" I said, well, technically yes, but no. And so a couple days went by, and then she asked me to go get food, and well, that was it.
Was it Crackles or was it Olive Garden?
No, it was First Walk. It was Chinese food, my favorite Chinese place out here. Yeah, now it's just Mexican all day, or Crackles. What?
I would like to say my mom never said she was getting married again, and then one day I came home and they said we're getting married, and I freaked out. I was so confused.
Like, yeah. Freaked out in a good way, though? I hope.
Freaked out in a good way?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, she said that too. We ended up going to like a state fair. We went and seen Chevelle. And then by September, the dinosaurs, yeah. So, yeah, I got super stoned at a Chevelle concert. I was eating, I do RSO oil to try to help with my cancer too. Mm-hmm. And so I put RSO oil on like a marshmallow from Lucky Charms, and I would eat it. So we're at the concert, and I don't know if you guys know those. It's gonna sound retarded.
They're signs, but they're
like the signs with the flags. Mm-hmm. Like they're big, they're like marketing signs or whatever, but they're just like they're flags. And so at the state fair, it's like basically on a track. So to the left, we're sitting in the grandstands, and to the left, there's a lot of smoke. Well, apparently the RSO oil had kicked in, because I look over there and I just start laughing. And she's all, "What?" And I was like, "I swear to God, there was a T-Rex over there." And she's all, "What are you talking about?" I said, "See that flag?" But the way the smoke was coming, whatever. So dinosaurs those have always been our thing. So we eventually go get a tattoo with little T-Rexes on our ankles. And
all right, one of you's got to show your foot because they're so cute, and chat needs reference. They're showing their foot on camera this morning.
Yeah, we got it. Hold on.
But yeah, they're so cute.
Wait, can you see it? Yeah,
I see yours. Look how cute that is.
Yeah.
Tattoos.
So mine looks exactly the same too. On the same ankle, which is I'm surprised I even had that space left. So so that was I don't know, August. And then by September, I was already calling her my girlfriend. She was like, "Wait, you never asked me." I was like, "All right, so then will you be my girlfriend?" You know, so then official in September. And then at that point, it was time to work on getting my divorce finalized, right? Because at this point, I already knew, I knew before I left, I wanted to get a divorce. But for some reason, mentally, I thought that my ex should help out. Well, learning that she didn't want to help me, I should have known this already, but she never wanted to make any of my life easier, like ever, So basically I came up with the money. I got my disability. And I just put a little bit to the side. I went down to Illinois and I filed. And then February came along and I took Mel out to Vegas to see my brother and all my nephews and my niece for her birthday. And we went to the constable's office and we had her served while we were out there. And we went, we had fun out there. We went to a concert and to a night show and a Tool concert and a Knights game all in the same week. Introduced her to a lot of my friends and family that were out there. Sam and Kevin, they're big friends of mine out there. They would do anything for me. They run a doggy daycare pretty much. So if you're ever in Las Vegas, look up Sammy Sits. She's dope. She will take care of your dog like it's her baby. But so yeah, she got served, and then we come home, and yeah, then she booked the spot for the wedding at the zoo before I even like asked her to be my wife. But at that point, she was just like, I would marry you, and I'm like, well, shit, I would marry you too. But I thought we were never getting married.
Yeah.
So I finally had my court date, April 22nd of 2024. So divorce was final, and so June 8th, I took her to St. Louis Zoo, and they had like the Dino-Rorus event at there. So when we got to the T-Rex the second time around, because I was too nervous the first time, there's too many people.
Aww.
And so the second, I was like, let's go back in here. Maybe we missed some dinosaurs. You know, she was like, well, she kind of had a feeling. So then, as she was looking at the Triceratops, because we missed that. It was right in front of the T-Rex. I had kneeled down as soon as she turned around. That's when I proposed to her. And then we went to a Day to Remember concert that night. And then August 17th, we got married.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't. I don't feel like it's real. Like still, like I married my best friend. Like honestly, like it's crazy. I still call her my girlfriend
all the time.
She meant.
I still accidentally call Brian my boyfriend, even though he's my fiance.
Yeah. Then when you get married, you'll be like, "What? I can't believe it."
I know it's just something you got to get used to, right? The name change. Well, welcome in, Carsey, Geek Boy, Noel Brucker. Good morning, guys and gals. Whip says, "How do you remember all of this? I'm lucky if I can remember my wife's name."
I have a very good memory. Like in the pot thing, they say like you lose it. No, I don't know. My mom would always, instead of making lists, she would just tell a Shayne for like the grocery store. Yeah, she would. So yeah, when I was little.
Oh, hey, you save some trees that way.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Boy says whip. That's why I always just call my wife, "Hey, you."
Right.
Oh my goodness. So that is so awesome. So through your whole journey from beginning to end, I think like you honestly ended in a fairy tale, if I can say so myself. Because I absolutely love May May. I see that she's your other half, how much she loves you and respects you and cares for you, and how she heals you in probably ways you don't even know. So she really helps. She really is your other half. And I'm so very grateful that you're in remission. You have found the love of your life, and you are living your happily ever after.
Let me just show. So I keep taking this off, but
got hair, and he's got hair.
Look at that! Finally got my ponytail back.
Yeah,
I'm growing it out so I can headbang like I used to.
And he's not so skinny anymore.
I know. If you guys have looked at the thumbnail, the original picture was from 2023 when we first got puppy Shayne, and Shayne first came out to visit us, and the photo on the right was when he was recently out here in 2025. And there's so much difference. When I first met you at the Catfish Cataclysm, you were a hairless, skin-covered bone. Bones. You were so skinny and frail. And
me and Shayne definitely plumped up. We're square bodies now. We like our food.
It makes me emotional every time. Like good emotion, like happy tears. I cry a lot about. Every time I see that photo, I get emotional because of just how far both of you have come. He's grown up into the best boy, and you have come so far in your cancer journey, and you are on the road successfully to health again. And I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful that you are well again.
I love being healthy. Well, at least or more healthier than I was, you know, because I look back at that and I'm like, damn, I look sick. but you can't really see it when you're
going through it.
In it. Yeah. But the pictures, like when I go back and see the pictures from when I was healthy to when I was starting to deteriorate, you can see that, you know, and especially like with my eyes being sunken in and like just dark and I don't know, no hair, like I don't know, skinny, like skinny. Like I was down to probably 114, I think was my lowest, and now I'm up to 173. Like I'm getting it, you know, I'm getting it. Them gains all day now.
Exactly, and that's another positive sign right there. If you're able to eat, if you have an appetite, if you're putting on weight, that's just another positive. That means you're going in the right direction. So I'm so very happy. I'm so very. I know I didn't birth you, but I'm just as proud of you as your mom would be.
I thought we came out the same birth canal.
At the same time,
at the same time, we both came out waving. No.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Like Jim Carrey coming out that rhino.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Perfect. But I was going to do a fishy list run this morning, but we are already 22 minutes over our time. I apologize for that, but I didn't want to cut Shayne short. I wanted to spend some time.
Cut me short? Funny, good short joke.
If that's what you take it as, I mean, I didn't want to cut you off at an hour. You can't get much shorter, dude.
No, I can't. I can cough.
But thank you so very much for being up here with me this morning and sharing your story. And I'm so very proud of you. And I can't wait to see you in August. I'm so excited.
I know. We'll be there. We're coming out. We'll be in probably Friday early and then leave Sunday late.
Yeah. Friday is basically like set up and like get it all together. Saturday's the main event.
Yeah, we'll help.
That we're setting all up for. And Sunday's like coffee, like croissants, and get the hell out. Slowly meander home, start getting ready to go home. So, all right, we have been going for an hour and a half. I want to say yes. Oh, Jody says, looking forward to seeing you, all of you, in August. And,
Jody, are you bringing sweets?
I believe somebody talked her into the lemon poppy seed.
Yes, that was probably me. No, I don't know.
I don't know if that's still a thing.
Jody.
Oh, but yes, if there's anyone in chat that would like to attend the Wisconsin Fish Fam Cookout / Campout, please visit the Google link to fill out the form to let us know if you're attending, where you're going to be staying. If you're anaphylaxis towards anything, like Shayne, he can't have shellfish, so we won't have shellfish at the event. So yeah, we need to know if there's like any dangers for you anaphylaxis wise, or if you're like if you want to bring a side dish as well, so we can keep everyone streamlined with that. So, and you can also meet Shayne and May in person, as well as so many other fantastic fish fam.
And baby Shayne.
Yeah.
And Jax will be there, and yeah.
Awesome. I wasn't sure if
Jeff will be there.
To ask you, so make sure to get Dr. Pepper then.
Yeah. No, we'll have it all loaded in the trunk.
All right, so I'm going to let you guys go for this morning. I want to say thank you so very much, Shayne, for coming up and telling us your story. I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you.
We're like, no, if you know, though, we're less than a month away till I see you again, right? We're almost there again. Every 2 months, I feel like we see you now. It's like clockwork.
Because August 1st, she'll be here, so yeah. So
Yeah. And it's
and
the 3rd, yeah.
Have a very happy, very safe 4th of July. If you have your pets, make sure they are safe and secure before the fireworks begin this evening. And thank you all for being here with us, whether you are participants, a lurker, or replay crew. I love each and every single one of you, and we'll be back with you guys here next Thursday for the Hot Mess Express at our new time, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, go forth, have a fantastic holiday. Call your loved ones. Pull them in, give them squishies and kisses if you're lucky enough to have them close. because tomorrow is never promised, but today is a gift.
Drop it.
Some love with that, guys. And while you're at it, plant a seed of kindness, because the world can use so much kindness, and a beautiful garden can sprout from the single seed that you sow. So go spread some love, some kindness. Have a great 4th of July, you know, and we'll see you all around the show. Kiss your fishies.
Bye.
Bye.